Good evening, everyone. Tonight, our first speaker is giving her icebreaker speech from the Presentation Mastery Pathway. The title of her speech is My Journey Through Life. Please help me welcome Anna Priya.
Who am I? Who in the world am I? That's the great puzzle, says Lewis Carroll. Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster and my fellow Toastmasters. Today, I'm going to walk you through my journey through life in 4 phases. Phase 1, I want to call it win or learn. As a kid, I used to be heavily engaged in the sports. I was an athlete and I've played several team sports, say basketball, football, hockey, badminton. I have played it all at school. I have won several matches and I've lost several matches too. I learned beautiful lesson being in the sports team, and it goes as, it's going to be rough, it's going to be hard, but you're going to go out there and compete, and you are going to do it for one another. You are going to do it for your team. You are going to do it for yourself. Regardless of the situation, regardless of what the scoreboard tells you, you are going to go out there and compete and continue to fight, and you are going to be successful because you know that you have put in all the hard work, all the dedication that it takes, and you know it's going to pay off. And even if it doesn't, and you tend to lose, you know it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. You are going to continue to keep smiling and continue to learn from it. Phase 2, I want to call it lifelong learning. I was in my late teens then, going to high school. And one day my parents told me, if you study well and get good grades and get admission in a top college, you are settled for life. I believed in it. I truly believed in it, that I worked hard for it and got an admission in a top university in my state. There I am at college, and one day my professor told me, if you learn the concepts well and get a good job, you are settled for life. I believed in it again. And now I'm at my workplace. And you know what? I still had to learn something new each day. And that's when I realized your learning will never end. You will never know everything about anything, and life is a lifelong learning experience where you continue to grow and develop your skills and knowledge, where you continue to learn something new each day, where you continue to get better every passing day, where you continue to become a better version of yourself. Phase 3, I want to call it change begins with you. I've been working in this company for a few years, and then I realized one day I am not passionate about the work I do, although I was enjoying the paychecks. And I was asking myself, what is my next right move? I decided to pursue my graduate studies in a field that caught my interest and got an admission in a top university in Chicago. And there I come, crossing the 7 seas and oceans and mountains to this land of opportunities to pursue my American dream. I am in this foreign land, and I should admit that in the first few days, life was not easy. Life was hard. I did not know anyone, nor did make any new friends. I felt lost, had an emptiness in my life. I felt lonely and depressed and homesick. Several days passed by and life was still the same. And one day, I decided to change things for me. I decided to take control of my life. I woke up early in the morning, jumped out of my bed and went for a long walk where I met several new people and talked to a couple of them. And I came back home and signed up for public events where I could make new friends and connections. And I started to live my life alive. And I started to become more alive. I started to focus on the beautiful things that I had in my life in America. If there is one thing that I learned that day, it is, if there is something that you want to change in your life, and if there could be one person that can make all the difference in your life, that person is you. Change begins with you. Phase 4. Life is a hobby. That's how I want to call it. I am in my late 20s now, and I found the love of my life and got married. Now, I see myself performing several different roles. The role of a daughter to my parents, the role of a wife to my husband, the role of a mom to my little plants, and the role of an employee to my employer. I see myself performing all these different roles, and I ask to myself, who am I? That was the same year COVID stuck, and people were advised to stay indoors. And I had a lot of time for self-realization. I decided to invest in a hobby that I used to enjoy as a kid. I decided to draw and paint, a hobby that fuels to my creativity. A couple of my artworks you could see above here. Later in 2021, I decided to improve my health. I signed up for a badminton club where I met people with similar interests and started playing badminton a couple of days in a week. And on days that I don't play badminton, I still decided to hit the gym or do a swim. Now I have a hobby that I enjoy the most that takes care of my fitness. I finally want to conclude my speech by saying, find 3 hobbies that you love. 1 that can make you money. 1 to get in shape, and 1 to get you creative. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Anupriya. I really enjoyed your speech. Now I'm taking off my Toastmaster role, my hat. I really enjoy your enthusiasm, and you speak very forcefully, and I think that is excellent. I liked how you said phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. That I felt like you really did a great job of dividing up your sections into clear areas so that people knew where you were. I think everybody's going to really like your speech and be very impressed.
Moving into our next evaluation, we now move to the speech evaluations, and we'll start that off with our first evaluator. Let's welcome Aaron as he offers his comments on Anupriya's icebreaker. Welcome, Aaron.
Thank you, Master Toastmaster. So the purpose of this project was to introduce yourself and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Anupriya, I thought you did a great job of that. Overall, I really liked the speech. I think one of the hardest things when you write a speech is to grab the audience attention and then keep it the whole time. I think your speech did a great job in doing that. I even found it a bit hard to take notes because I just wanted to, listen. You kind of distract yourself when you're writing things down. But I was having a really good time just listening to the story you were telling. You started out with the line, "Who am I?" And I thought that drew in the audience really well. I think that kind of like perked up my attention. And then you kept it the whole time with, I thought, was great organization. You basically laid out the 4 phases of your life and you went through them. And I thought it was a really clear and concise way to kind of organize that speech and then guide the audience so it didn't take much mental effort to pay attention, right? You're just feeding the information in, just listening to what I like to say was just a great story. So you started off the first phase in your life. I thought it was life about doing sports and the life lessons you got out of them. I don't know if it was on purpose, but I felt like the way you delivered those life lessons was kind of reflective of how a coach would say those kind of things to you as he was teaching you. I thought that was a pretty good homage, and I really enjoyed that. Second phase, you talked about you going through school. You're still learning things every day. And then going through, you talked about how in phase 3, change begins with you. And I like how you start off each of these phases with, kind of a statement, laid out that section. I thought that was a pretty good way to do that. And then phase 4, if life is a hobby, I talked about getting into your art. You start off with the rhetorical, who am I? And kind of went into how you change to invest in your time, especially your art, which I thought was a great way to show off your art, was to show off behind you, been behind you the whole time. Wow, neat little surprise for the speech. So I thought that was a fun little thing to do. Just overall, I also noticed you had really good voice modulation. You weren't monotone, you weren't all over the place. You were just very good. I thought just easy to listen to speech. So overall, I thought it was a great icebreaker. I don't have too much feedback or negative feedback for you, or constructive criticism, I guess the only thing I would say to challenge yourself is if you had tried to stay inside the time window. I mean, I was glad you took the whole time. I felt it was worth it. And I enjoyed listening to it. But I think that's one way to challenge yourself. It's like, how do I cut this down? How do I get my flow and get all these points across and still feel like a complete speech within that short period of time? So I think that's a good way to kind of challenge yourself, is to really shoot for those targets, because it can be challenging. You start talking and you want to keep going. Good speech, is short and sweet, or just the right length. Overall, I'd say great job. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Before I introduce that evaluator, I'd like to ask for a round of reports, please. So, Madam Timer, Priya, how long did all of our speakers speak? Welcome, Priya.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Both of our prepared speeches were well within time limits. Anupriya, you took 7 minutes and 4 seconds. And Ladan, you took 6 minutes and 42 seconds.
Priya, in explaining the timing, you were clear. Aaron, your introduction for Anupriya's speech was clear. Anupriya, you're using "and" as a connector between sentences. And that's very easy to do, and it's a great thing to try to eliminate. I liked your taglines that you used to introduce each of the sections of your speech. They were catchy, easy to remember, and helped with understanding the information you were presenting.
So we all saw the note from Mary. Please vote for your favorite, if you haven't done so yet, vote for your favorite speaker. Vote for your favorite table topic speaker, and also your favorite evaluator, and send those private chat to Mary, please. Back, general evaluation. So, thank you again. Before let's see, I guess 2 more things actually. So, Madam Topic Master, have you collected and counted all of the ballots? And do we have winners?
Yes, we do. Thank you, Tom. The winners today are for best as a best table topic speaker is Harshana. The best evaluator was tied. Aaron and Dana both did excellent jobs. And the best speaker was Anupriya. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Mary, and congratulations to our winners.